5 seconds remaining. Execration's turn to ban.
Alright everyone, welcome back to PGL Bucharest Major 2018 SEA Qualifiers. It's Game 2 of Boom ID versus Execration, and as we load in, we're going to see Execration at a 1-0 lead in this do or die series. Winner advances to play against Clutch in the next round of this qualifier, and the loser is out. I'm Baseskip, joining you once again to cast, and joining me this time around is Lumi, who has now appeared. How you going, Lumi?
Yes, I pulled a magic trick. I now poofed into the room.
Nice.
By the way, is your stream online? Because it is currently offline.
It should be online any second. Somebody changed the
All
delay on... So you can't see the delay that's set on channels that you aren't actually logged in on. So the last time I cast on BTS1, it was 5 minutes. So I set no delay on my end and 5 minutes on Twitch. And this time... Gotta say...
Switch is too expensive for a regular caster like me. Can't afford it.
Yep. All right. Well, we got a draft. What did you make of the previous game? Did you catch the
Yeah, I watched second half of it. As soon as I realized I was supposed to be casting, I was like, oh shoot, I should at least watch the game.
Yeah.
And I did.
Nice.
So there were a couple of interesting points in the game. I do want to say that despite Yaj getting that rampage at the end, he missed a hell of a lot of Requiem combos.
Yeah, Carl. Yeah.
Because I just want to be a hater.
That's
Not Yaj,
true.
sorry.
Yeah.
Carl. Yeah.
Yaj played great on the Knicks.
He did.
I was a real doubter of the...
That's actually the best game I've seen Yaj play. Because normally he struggles quite a bit in the laning stage. He gets it together during the mid game, and he really pulled it off. I think there was one team fight where you called it, where he essentially won the team fight for the team.
Yeah.
It turns out having a TIE Hunter on your team, ravaged twice, is really nice, because that's exactly what he did. Like his stun hit like 2 to 3, and I think his first spike carapace hit like 2 to 3 heroes as well.
Yeah,
and that was kind of crazy.
It was sick because they were just charging in there. They're like, oh yeah, we know that the Void is dead with no buyback, so there's no way we should lose this fight. And then just like, psych, I got this. Don't worry. Okay, so in terms of the bans, we are going to get the Bounty Hunter removed this time around. I mean, the Bounty Tinker combo was annoying for Execration to deal with, but they did manage it in the end. But it is Boom banning it. They're not banning any of Execration's cores. That's what they opted to do in the previous game. They were like, they banned Razor, Doom, and... I forget what the third one was, but I think they like went for all core bans in the previous game. So a little bit of a different approach this time around.
Okay, I really like not only does the Bounty and Tinker work really well together, with the Disruptor as well, where anybody that was ever out of position, you track them, you glimpse them, and then it's pretty much a guaranteed kill, and it often forced Execration in a bad spot where, like, hey, do we bail out our guy who got glimpsed, or do we just disengage and just cut our losses? And they were able to get a ton of kills against, especially like a team like Execration, who honestly tend to be out of position from time to time because of their individual playstyle. I thought that combination was really nice at punishing them. Not gonna see it here, but maybe if it goes to game 3, we might see it once again there.
Yeah, could be a possibility. I think Tiny was actually the third ban that I was trying to think of. So Execration
makes sense. Yeah.
Execration gonna grab that up for themselves here. Maybe we'll see a little bit more of that Jakiro. Seems like Lumik's really been rocking the Jakiro recently, so maybe that'll be their secondary grab. But Boom, this is not a good look. You can tell that they're already sitting there and scratching their heads, like just from their reserve time, right? They're like, oh, what's our strategy? Because it feels like in most games you should have your first 3 bans and then probably some idea of the first couple of picks locked in before the game even starts. But it seems like they might be flying by the seat of their pants a bit.
I mean, there's been so many different qualifiers and games going on that I would not fault them for being less prepared than usual. Although with that said, it's probably like, I don't know, the 15th time they play Execration this week, so maybe you should have all your bans planned out.
Yeah, that would maybe be the hope. Okay, what else are gonna go? So they gone for the Witch Doctor. I mean, I think it's a solid support. doesn't necessarily tip your draft in any one way or another. Alright, looks like maybe just kind of win the lanes is the plan here, at least so far. Or maybe they're just going for comfort heroes. That could be the other thing that we're looking at here. It's just like, alright, well...
I'm seeing heroes that are just good at pretty much at any stage of the game, which is, I think, a pretty good philosophy to have for drafting going into your second phase. Before you pick up your cores, you don't really know if you're going to go for, let's say, a pretty early victory or more of a hunker down, go for late game. But you definitely want supports that could aid in whatever strategy that you have. So they're not really giving away too much. Although, I don't know if you want Witch Doctor against Tiny, because that is food. It is straight up food, and Witch Doctor is going to be standing around most of the time casting his ultimate. So
yeah, it's certainly not easy for him against the Tiny. We get the Tusk here. I don't want to call this. It's not necessarily a page out of Fnatic's book, but it is a hero that they've been looking at a lot recently, and I think it's actually been even picked a decent amount. I seem to remember on Dota that it's one of the more picked heroes in like the last week. Or one of the more successful. So Execration getting on that train. I think it's also really nice if you end up running the Tiny mid to have the Tusk on your team, because Tiny has a ton of kill potential, but it's not always easy to just run up and Avatos somebody. But when you've got the shards to lock somebody down and the snowball to bring him in, it actually makes mid lane completely unplayable for most heroes.
Just pick Dusa.
Yeah. Could pick the Dusa. When we've seen the Quap a decent amount, I do not want to see the Quap picked at all. Like,
we've only seen Quap lose.
We've only seen it lose. Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
I can see where the idea would be, right? Like, oh well, you don't die to the snowball, and like I guess maybe you're okay against Tiny. But all we've seen is Quap just get dumpstered by Tiny, even just in the 1v1. So
I actually think that when Tiny is played in safe lane, a lot of offlaners have basically figured out the way to actually deal with Tiny, which is pick really tanky heroes that don't get killed by a toss back to a tower and don't get kind of harassed down. So in terms of the mid hero, if you're thinking for that, I think Dragon Knight would be a hero that does pretty well. A hero that just regens with his passive. And then Fire Brief also does quite excellently against Tiny pretty much at every stage of the game, especially in a later game. Once Grow is giving you so much plus damage, Fire Brief, or is it Brief Fire?
Yeah, Brief Fire.
Reduces your damage by quite a bit. So it's very, very strong against. And then, of course, the Frost Dragon is very good against Tiny as well.
Yeah, anything that
kind of
kites
slow
them around.
that you continuously apply, not like, just a regular slow.
Yeah, I've even seen it seems to happen a decent amount to Tiny in the later stages of the game, and I think it's just kind of the nature of his kit that you are a melee hero that's going to get kited. The status resistance helps a little bit on Grow, but I've seen situations where Tiny with like an SNY and a Daedalus and an AC blinks in, he gets the initial combo off, maybe kills a support, and then some of the hyper mobile cores that are really popular at the moment just kite him into oblivion and he never gets to get any auto attacks off. So we'll see if that ends up happening in the later stages. It might not even get to that point. Boom pick up Tinker here, which I don't know. I feel like he's just going to have Tusk up in his face the whole early game. This is, I think, less of a... I don't like this Tinker pick as much as I like the Tinker pick in the previous game. Though Execration don't have as good of a heroes to find him and kill him off. The Nyx Assassin notably being banned out.
Yep. I think Tinker's okay here because he's notably one of the mid hero that still buys a bottle. So he's going to be able to resist a lot of Tiny's early game harass via toss. And he could still see us under duress. And he often poses a question to the opposing drafters, like, okay, exactly how are you going to push our high ground? Because laser rockets, Martian machine. I don't think you could just rely on Tiny just pushing the high ground because of the threat of the laser. Although this game, I think he definitely cannot skip the Aether Lens, simply because you just need to stay hella away from Tusk and Tiny. If you get caught, you're dead.
Yeah, you get stunned once and you're just gone. There's like no amount of survivability items that's gonna help you with that. So Execration now left considering their options a little bit. I think the big conversation is probably about what the mid/safe lane split is going to be, whether or not they still want the Tiny there, or if they want to try and put him in the safe lane, get him a faster Shadow Blade or Blink, and then have him move around. But get a Silencer pick up. It is kind of annoying for the Tinker to play against. It's good against the Sand King. I think also not terrible against the Witch Doctor either. So this may be my favorite Silencer pick that we've seen out of the last couple of days, Lemmy. What do you think?
Yeah, this is a quite a good one here. Although, this is like playing with fire now, right? Boom ID. If you pick Brewmaster into Silencer, if you get off your split, great. Silencer doesn't do anything against you. But if you don't, oh my goodness, why did you pick the Brewmaster into the Silencer? So it's half and half, and now Puck is going to be picked up as well. Still keeping the possibility of a mid Puck versus offlane Puck, but another hero that does both excellently against Tinker and Brew.
Yeah, the team fight control is just so good from Execration at this point, and the counter initiation I think especially is a big thing, right? They can get a snowball save. They've got the global. If you go on somebody, there's either going to be a Dream Coil or a Tiny jumping in with an Avatos. So Boom have to be really careful about how they approach these fights. Do you think Brewmaster is in that category of heroes that you were talking about earlier that survive against the safe lane Tiny? Though it looks like with this pick, it may not even be a consideration.
I think so, because you just throw some Heineken on whoever that's hitting you, and then you'll be fine.
You may now select your heroes.
Okay.
All right. I mean, it's a lot of physical damage. It's some building damage that they were kind of lacking up until this point. I mean, Brewmaster kind of hits buildings, but you'd prefer to be using the split to win the fight, right? As opposed to just punching towers. And it's decent against Jug. I mean, you got plenty of units. So Omni Slash is a little bit less value.
Is this an offlane Tiny? That's what it's looking like. Unless Yaj doesn't know how to play offlane Puck and they're swapping around.
Yeah, that could be it. So then you've got Tinker versus Puck, which is probably not that terrible, right? I mean, you're still going to get lasered. But the orb is quite strong these days in terms of pushing the wave. Should be fairly difficult to kill. You've got kill threat as well at level 6. Right? Or I think even with the Tusk coming in, if you harass him down with the orb a little bit and then just snowball in, Waning Rift, secondary orb, should be easy kill. But offlane Tiny is weird. So
I'm thinking it's going to be an offlane Puck and just put it on Yaj, not normally playing the Puck, so
they're swapping lanes. Okay, yeah.
Swapping rows, yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about Terrorblade though, because I feel like this game, there is going to be a point where Terrorblade just takes over because you're up against 2 melee cores. Once you get up to Scotty, you could just kind of kite and kill them quite easily. But before that, there is just so much burst damage between the Puck, between the Tiny. So it's basically the goal for Execration is to win the game early and prevent the Tinker and the Terrorblade to get to that ultra late game.
Yeah, and to that end, they probably have to try and take the tier 1 towers relatively quickly as well, right? The TB and the Tinker are both big jungle farmers. If you give them any amount of space that you give them on the map, they can kind of expand to fill. They're farm sponges. So if you can kind of restrict that territory, that's going to be really important. Because like you're saying, that TB timing is huge, but it also requires quite a lot of time, right? It's no small feat to farm your like Manta, Pike, Scotty kind of a deal.
Yeah, in terms of taking the early tier 1 towers, that really just comes down to how your lanes is going. You can't really take a tier 1 tower if you go like 0-4 in the lane, so that would be the goal, but let's see who does have the better lane. It does feel like Execration have really strong laning cores, but the Witch Doctor in particular, for me, it feels like will secure whichever lane that he goes into, because he just brawls very well as a support early on, punches quite hard.
Yeah, look at all there's some everyone's been pretty nice about the good luck, have fun. Looks like everyone's friends here, but unfortunately, Execration might be ending Boom's run here in the SEA qualifiers for the Bucharest Major. But that's just Dota, right? Only one team can win. What else is going on? We do actually have Puck with what looks like a mid build, and the Tiny with what looks like a side lane build. So it's maybe actually an offlane Tiny in this situation.
30 seconds to battle.
Okay.
So I guess he's 1v1 against the Brew. It looks like Boom are going aggro, kind of. Did you like this decision?
Boom is going aggro.
Yeah, they got their TB in the offlane right now. Or maybe are they gonna swap it up? Did they scout
I
something?
mean, I don't know if this is aggro intending to punish the Juggernaut, or is it aggro trying to dodge. You know, they don't want to lane against, let's say the offlane of Execration.
Of Tusk Tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's gonna be terribly mid, is what's gonna be.
Oh. Alright, that's a big adjustment.
Or not.
No, he's just he's blocking.
He's just blocking. Normally
Yeah.
that's, you know, the support's job, but looks like he's gonna, well, 2 TPs down the drain just for that.
Ooh, that's a really big commitment, right? Now they can't adjust the lanes if they want. Like if Execration wanted to chase after this Terrorblade with the Tiny and the Tusk, they could easily do it, and he would have no recourse to.
This is the hard commit. They just put the ring on it, you know, just like, let's go.
Alright, well, Brewmaster getting punched on a little bit. I mean, like you said, the haze helps somewhat. He's actually taking a ton of damage from the right clicks. Gets the
That
tree locked
Heineken
at him.
did not slow
Did
down
not,
Yacht.
did not
Yacht
protect him.
Yeah, Yacht just hit everything.
Alright, well, Nando's
lane?
gonna get stunned. Chain stun a little bit. Oh, the cask is bouncing so nicely. Really cooperating. And the body blocks from the Sand King. He manages to juke his way through the trees. Nice uses of the tangos. Can they finish him off? Looks like no. Alright, well, that was some nice plays on both sides. The tango juke and the body blocks. And a little bit of luck mixed in there as well from the paralyzing cask. But Nando's still taking a ton of pressure.
That was a bit of miscommunication between the Terrorblade and the rest of the supports. Terrorblade pop his form and then Witch Doctor win, but then I guess Terrorblade didn't think the stun will land or do enough, so he just kind of turned back and started hitting creeps. I think had he started going on the Juggernaut as he originally intended, they probably get that kill. But I forgive him because he has a cool ass set. I've never seen this yellow Terrorblade, and it fits because he's the yellow player in this one.
That's true. Alright, there's the cast bouncing around. Nice spin from Nando. Doesn't have to be too afraid of Dreamacell, but does need to be a little bit wary of the Sand King. Burst Strike going to come through, and it does end up connecting. They just have to right-click him down at this point. They've also got the Reflection. This is a big commitment for this kill, and they will be able to grab it. Everybody dropping super low, but first blood for the Sand King. Shard's trying to snipe out from Raging Potato. He's kind of running in all by himself. He wants to see this Witch Doctor in the trees. They are going to spot him. Witch Doctor just hoping for the mana to be able to TP out. He's got one tango left to head through into the trees.
He's fine. He's fine. Yeah.
Alright, he's good. He's good.
That was sick play there. Had the clarity going. In fact, the clarity's not even cancelled.
But Avatos doesn't catch the Brewmaster. Alright, he's good. Still got a sell.
Brewmaster's really struggling in the lane.
Yeah, that's true. 9 and 3 Tiny for the versus the 4 and 3 of the Brewmaster. He's got a bottle queued up, but that's going to take a while to farm, and he kind of needs the courier soon, since Shrine is still ages away.
Level 1 engagement really hurt him badly. Like, I think he would have been fine if it was just slow game, but he just basically lost a salve the first minute he walked into the wave.
Yeah.
Which makes his matchup pretty unplayable.
Yeah. And he didn't have a mango either, so the Tiny is also kind of just outvaluing him in that sense. Sand King does have the Burst Strike ready. Dreamacell helping out here against Raging Potato. They do have the Snowball ready to go. He manages to dodge the cask, rolling forward. They also get the Arcane Curse off. He might just tick out to that. Gonna try and tango his way up. Raging Potato still on the warpath, and he will punch him down. Now has another Ice Shards in a couple of seconds. Looks like Raging Potato might be winning. Might be winning this lane all by himself. Oh, he's gonna try and make up for his failures. He's diving all the way in. He needs one more punch, maybe two at this point with the stick charges. He manages to dodge the Burst Strike. He is gonna pay for that missed Ice Shards. Oh man.
Oh man, I love these SCA teams. It's all about the hard commit. Nobody backs down from a fight ever.
Yeah, he could have easily survived. There was no reason for him to run past those shards just to kill the level 2 Witch Doctor, but it was like, I gotta make up for my mistakes. Alright, wait for the silence. Wait for the Burst Strike. Oh, paralyzing cast bouncing around a little bit. Sand King, is he going to tick out? That's another +2 for Lumik. That's the first +2, in fact. What else is going on? Brewmaster seemingly stabilizing the lane a tiny bit, but still a bit behind. And how's mid going, in fact? Puck is 25-7 against the 17-7 of the Tinker. This is not what I was expecting, but Carl really feeling himself, it looks like.
I mean, he is S4.
That's true. He is on Puck. He does have the appropriate set.
Carl, do you remember the Dream Coil?
Yeah, I gotta ask him. Well, this is the SEA qualifier Dream Coil. Orb misses. Nice little sidestep from In Your Dream. Raging Potato once again with the hard commit. They've only got 1 point in the Waning Rift, but I think that might be enough. In Your Dream's pretty fast. He's got the Fairy Fire. Now he's gonna salve up. Raging Potato this time around. He knows when he's beat. He will just take a exit stage left and make his way out of there. Yaj going toe-to-toe with Saint, who's just sitting in the middle of the creep wave so that he can't get tossed. Yaj tries for it, doesn't get it. Now the clap comes through. It's a battle to the death. He picks up the tree. Can he get this bottle sip off? No, it gets interrupted midway through. I think if he got the full sip there, he may have gotten the kill. Well,
also, if that
Raging
auto
Potato.
didn't miss.
Go! Alright, Raging Potato's got the cleanup.
Oh, he even scanned for it just to make sure that he was going on the right path. I like it. I like the play. Oh, this game is exciting.
Yeah, it's just pretty good so far. I'm enjoying it. So, how's the Terrorblade? Actually, I'm gonna leave it on CS for a little bit. It's only 6 minutes. So he's doing alright. 26-7. The Jug not really shut down either, though. Also has 28 CS to his name. So, actually a pretty even farm game across the board. I mean, maybe the Puck a little bit out in front, but that's the only big discrepancy.
Uh-oh.
They're going on Saint once again. They still have that snowball. Avatos. Yaj gonna go for the not the toss back. Actually, just putting some damage on him. I'm surprised that Raging Potato didn't stick around and try and finish that kill. He's actually just TPing over to the shrine now. Maybe sees a better opportunity top. Tanking's quite low, in fact. Oh, he wants to. I guess he wants to snipe the Sand King, going for the shrine. Make the same play again. Raging Potato. Predator mode. He sees him. He's got him in his sights. Can he dodge anything? He's holding onto the snowball. Nope, no, he wants this Witch Doctor instead. And I think Kezcute is going to be going down the spin. Nicely dodging the paralyzing cask. Very easy. Puck even coming across. Poor Sand King. Well, he wanted the shrine earlier. At this point, he's just tangoed his way back to full health.
By the way, that kill on the Witch Doctor also gave Tusk his first urn charge, and
yeah, now he's got
make
one
it go right here.
Yeah, make this kill in the mid lane happen. They do have the Dream Coil ready to go. Ice Shard's coming out. Carl's gonna try and save it, in fact, and In Your Dream just accepts his fate. Just even stops auto attacking for a second there. Didn't use the heat-seeking missile. Just knew 100% that he was dead. And Raging Potato's going crazy on this Tusk. Like, feels like he's just doing everything. All right, Primal Split gets used bottom. Nice rotation from the Sand King, and they will find the Tiny. But alright, both position 4 players making some stuff happen. But, do you feel like this is this fast enough for Execration? Oh, more action down bottom. Spin damage on the Saint, gonna try and juke his way through into the trees. Can he avoid any of this? Ice Shards coming up. He wants those urn charges. He's gonna get the clap off and the haze. Now getting trapped in. Very nice shards, but alright, they're forced to commit the Omnislash to clear that kill. That was not what they were hoping for.
That was well played by Saint. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think normally the Execration should have been able to get the kill without expending the long cooldown.
Top, it looks like. Yeah, juking around the tree line. Actually, maybe he's okay. Dreamacell a little bit slow. This last Maldic tick, I do not think is going to do nearly enough. No. So it gets dropped very, very low, but not going to end up being a kill.
So Execration is doing slightly better in the lanes, but I'm not sure if it's enough, right? If you look at the CS on both Terrorblade and the Tinker, they're behind their counterparts, but it's not that far behind, and their towers are still within very healthy HP. So far the game plan hasn't really came to fruition for Execration, but they still have a relatively large time window, so I'm not too worried right now for Execration.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to get more difficult once the Tinker picks up his BOTs. And interestingly enough, In Your Dream also just going for a fairly farmy build this game. I think part of it is that the heat-seeking missile is not that useful against the puck, but he has got 3 points in the March of the Machines already, so his
Not
farm's
useful
gonna-
against a lot of these heroes. You got spin, you got the snowball to dodge it.
He's okay. It's just Jokan. Yeah, there's plenty of different ways to kind of deal with it. Nando going to be queuing up a Battle Fury here. Seems to just kind of be his preferred carry style. He does need to carry reasonably hard this game, I think, just given that they've got the puck on mid. Oh, this cask is bouncing everywhere. Really nicely done by the Witch Doctor, just holding that angle, making this a very difficult gank. So the coil was used, but I think they just immediately snapped it and kept on running. And they're going to be fine. Can they kill Tinker before the BOTs? He's 150 gold away. Hoping for the 10-minute rune up top. He's going to get it. It's an invis. Do they have any detection? They do not. So Nando just going to.
They actually want to walk in and take a fight here. Can Boom take a fight? I'm not too sure.
I mean, they have almost everybody here. Brewmaster TP's on cooldown, and it looks like they're not even going to get offered one.
In terms of initiation, like if you look at the lineup for Boom, they don't really have it until the Blink Daggers. So their chances of taking a really good fight is having Execration run into them, and then TPing in with, let's say, the split of Brewmaster or having a really good Burrow Strike or Cask from the Witch Doctor. I don't think they should be doing like any active looking of fights. They should just be reacting to Execration.
Yeah, and it seems like that's kind of the game plan in general. Like Brewmaster has a Midas queued up. I wouldn't have minded seeing him go for the Blink and then back for the Midas, because I feel like we've been saying, the easiest way that they lose this game is just getting run over. Shard's not going to do that much. Primal Split going to get forced out. What can they really do? Nando running. Meanwhile, the Sand King dies over at mid. Can they quickly kill off that healing ward is the question. Got to use that Storm Panda. They can't quite get it. It's in the trees now. This might just be a wasted Primal Split. Oh no. A little bit of a miss micro, I want to call it there. He could have moved the Invis Storm Panda like ahead and easily sniped the ward. More action mid lane. Nope. First Strike's actually going to end up catching out the puck. He will be able to jaunt himself a little bit further down. Still wants this kill on the Witch Doctor behind the tower. Carl really going crazy. Looks like he might just tick out to the Maledict. No, the one charges. Alright, he gets lasered down in the end. Oh, and the global waste trying to save him.
Yeah, that was not worth on multiple accounts. With the Maledict on him, I thought he would back off, but this is SEHO that we're talking about. Nobody backs off from a fight. And that is a finished BOT on Tinker and a Soul Ring, so In Your Dream is pretty much on now. Bottom side.
Yep. Going in, they want the Brewmaster. The Omnisash not really bouncing all that well, but they do get the crit that they need in the end. Oh, Witch Doctor. Cask bouncing around a little bit, but missed the Maledict. Nando's gonna be okay.
He's much better than me, but I got confused.
Would it have killed him? Probably not. He still had spin.
No. But somebody on Twitch chat out there is asking.
Yeah, it's like, how does
asking the same question.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure there's more than one, Lumi.
Yeah.
Okay, so how is the Blink Dagger farm going on the Sand King? He's got 600 gold. It's 500 gold. Let's face it. Let's not be too generous. I think he bought a TP. Got rounded down.
Nobody's really offering up the lanes yet for him to get the Blink Dagger,
Juke
and
for
they
dear
should.
life, Witch Doctor. Oh, he did it. He sidestepped Nando. Yeah, there isn't really a place for him to farm, right? Because the Brewmaster's still taking a lane at the moment, and like we were saying, unfortunately the TB and the Tinker are both pretty big farm sponges. And he might even be dead here. Yeah, there's a dust. Oh, they're gonna get the Sunder out. Dreamcell wants to fight. Jokum actually escaping a little bit, but the Urn and the Arcane Curse gonna take him out. Lumik turns around to try and get some illusion farm. Over at mid, Carl with the double damage, only has a little bit of the duration left, and just trying to scare off the Brew. That's going to be about it. But Execration with a 5-kill lead now, and with the Terrorblade getting left behind by the Tinker, they also know that he does not have a Sunder, and they're just going to bring the Tiny straight on top of him and steal a couple of his int for good measure. Sticking around a bit too long on the TB there.
Nando on the bottom side now finds the Witch Doctor. Easy spin kill. chases him down. And now Nando's dominating. And the crazy thing is, he's dominating with just phase boots and pairs of variants. Like, he hasn't really even come online yet. So, 5k lead here for Execration. They may not be knocking tier 1 towers down, but they are definitely doing exactly what they need to be doing, which is getting really far ahead and taking advantage of the fact that Boom's lineup isn't capable of doing anything right now.
Nando, is he gonna get burst struck through the trees here? It doesn't even matter if he does. I don't think. He can just spin TP at this stage. He's getting body blocked again, but he's got phase boots, so yeah, he's gonna be A-okay. No panic at all. It's like, you don't have any way to force me to spin, you don't have any way to force me to TP, I'm just gonna walk this one off, thanks. And yeah, they're well, not quite, well, 7 kills ahead. I was about to say triple for some reason, but that's a 12, not a 15. We got a blink up on the puck.
Around, it's
yeah,
a 5, right?
kind of looks like a 5. Sure. Some extreme dyslexia going on.
It's not even that late in Australia right
No, it's not. This is like the most awake I've been for any of our casts.
I know.
What
Do
can
you see how I'm actually participating?
Yeah, yeah. Well, are you not sick anymore as well? Have you gotten over the cold? Or?
Yeah, I feel a lot better today.
Okay, that's good. Good to hear.
Speaking of blink dagger timing, Tinker is doing rather well.
Yeah.
But so far he hasn't really contributed a lot to the game just yet. But I think he's about to.
There was a big smoke gank heading bottom, but Nando just spins and TPs straight to top, so that's gonna end up being a little bit of wasted time. Maybe they just used the meta to take the tower. Seems like maybe the play. I'm surprised Execration aren't actually looking for a fight, because it feels like their puck is insanely strong at this point. Carl's got his blink veil completed. Pretty good timing. Very good.
Yeah,
timing,
when you have blink veil, you can pretty much solo kill just about anybody. Maybe not the Brewmaster because of how high HP he has, but I'm surprised that he hasn't, led a smoke gank with a team. He is going to take down a tier 1 tower here, and this is the more important one to take down. So.
Do you think it's even just worth it for them to trade some map control at this point? Because it opens it up for them to make more inroads onto the Radiant side of the map. I guess
I'm not sure if they want to give up this tower though. I think trading the bottom tier 1 for the mid tier 1 is great for Execration. But I guess if they get a mid tier 2, it looks like they might.
Carl tanking the wave. Yaj going to work. He's got his blink tread, so he's pretty secure here. Oh, a little bit of trouble for the puck. They get stunned up. They're going to drop the Avatos combo onto the Tinker, however, but it's not enough to kill him. Dreamcoil also coming out onto a couple. The Terrorblade now just laying through with the auto attacks. They're going to end up losing Lumic. They will be able to jump away on the puck, but up on the high ground, they've actually caught the Tiny with a TP coming in from the Brewmaster, and there should be no escape for Yaj at this point. Great rotation from Boom. They not only save their mid tier 2, they take the bottom tier 2, and they pick up those 2 kills.
I think Tiny had the right idea, which is comboing on Tinker as he ported in, but I think he missed his Avalanche. So as a result, there wasn't enough damage to get the kill. And that actually cost them quite a bit because they committed the global to that engagement as well, losing both the Silencer and the Tiny. Just off of one kind of mechanical mistake. That's quite unfortunate.
Yeah, they probably still lose some heroes there, or a hero there, but yeah, not getting the Tinker kill, it hurts for sure. So at this point, I guess they're just waiting around a little bit for Nando to farm some more. He is quite a high level, I think, yeah, actually the highest level in the game. Just been farming away with his Battle Fury, pushing out some lanes. Talked about it, that it is, he definitely has to be kind of the hard one this game, especially with the puck as the mid, so seems to be fulfilling that role pretty well. Though, Boom, those Blink Daggers are now slowly coming online. Actually, Brewmaster just has a Radiance queued up. What do you think about that? Oh, Yaj, Avatos combo, but Brew's just so tanky. He's even got the 30 damage talent. The Omnislash comes bouncing through. That will finish one off. Kezcute also going to be brought down. Alright, Yaj going to get healed up a little bit by the Healing Ward. In Your Dream over in the trees being a nuisance, but not nearly enough to kill anything, and Execration getting Nando involved and making some stuff happen.
So the Radiance build on the Brewmaster normally is very good when your team is lacking somewhat in damage and you're doing quite well and you need to carry a bit for your team, but None of those are actually the case here. Now in your dream, he's gonna get caught. He's gonna refresh and try to pour it out. Is he gonna make it here? He will, because somebody TP'd before the Tiny did.
Under attack.
Oh no. That was unfortunate.
Not good. All right. Well.
Yeah. So back to the Brew Radiance.
Yeah.
His team has enough damage. His team doesn't need him to take a lot of farm, which he is doing by going for the Radiance. So I really disagree with this Radiance choice. I feel like this game, it's more of his job to be the Aura Machine and rely on the Tinker and the Terrorblade to do more of the farming and carrying.
Yeah, it seems to me that just playing for Initiation plus Auras is just the standard build, right? Get a Blink, get a Vlad's.
AC,
that
kind of stuff.
Pipe, whatever your team needs. The Vlad's is super valued this game, especially with the Terrorblade. So.
Yep.
Oh, well. We'll see what he does. Maybe he'll change his mind if he has another death or something like that.
I mean, even BKB, I think it's like pretty decent this game, considering how many silences and stuns that he has to deal against.
Sand King just wants this Blink Dagger money. He's close. Can he survive is the question. He's gotten silenced. Will be able to juke into the trees. He's got some one charges. Won't even get to use them as he cops a tree to the back of the head. Nice little combination gank there. Boom. Do manage to take out the top tier 1. So some of that gold recovered. And Sand King will have his Blink shortly after he respawns. But Execration managing to exert a bit more pressure. They'd probably really like to have some more wards in the Radiant jungle. But it looks like Boom have done a good job of de-warding around the place. So Dire Vision's actually a bit lacking right now.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And once again, the push continues from Boom. They're looking towards another tier 2 tower. Execration, they do have a Dream Coil ready to go. Only 1 point in the Dream Coil, in fact, from the puck. A little bit strange jumping forward now. What can he find? Primal Split, can he get forced out? That Raging Potato still looking to engage on the back lines. They're controlling the space around this tier 2 pretty nicely. And the Tusk getting caught. Global's now going to get popped. Execration just not really using their cooldowns all that amazingly well. Carl's jumping forward, looking for In Your Dream. He gets the coil off, but he's just standing there looking to rearm and keep on going. Is he going to jump further in? He will, but that's right into harm's way. Carl getting brought down by Dreamacell and In Your Dream. Nando able to spin down the Brewmaster. He finally comes out of the split and will end up losing 2 int in the process. In Your Dream able to TP himself out. They still have the Omni Slash in reserve. But Nando's struggling to get in there and really use it, and they're going to toss the Witch Doctor back. All right, Yaj going to pay for that one with his life. Not a worthwhile 1v1. And can they keep this tier 2 alive now becomes the question. March of the Machines getting laid down, but Healing Ward at the very least somewhat helpful to keep everybody in fighting shape. Nando's taking a ton of damage from it, in fact. That Kaya
He's really looking for this Witch looking for this Tinker, but
he wants the Omni Slash so bad. Spins his way out. They will be able to hold on to the tier 2, it looks like, but overall, not really a good fight, right? 2 for 3, global used. Not really that much ground gained.
To me, Execration is really not playing like a well-coordinated team. I feel like when you have Dream Coil and Global, you use it at the same time, combining with the Tiny jumping in, there's no way you lose that fight before BKBs comes out. Yeah. But it feels like Execration, not all of their players are there. Someone wants to jump first. Another person is somewhat slow on following up their fights. It's just team coordination things, but it's really costing them. And then that final play of Yaj blinking in just for the Witch Doctor kill. Like, who the hell cares about Witch Doctor, right?
Yeah, that was the same thing that Carl did earlier, right? He dove the tier 1 tower for the Witch Doctor and paid with his life. Alright, he's going to be able to blink away here. It's gonna be okay.
Very kill hungry overall.
It's not a great look. We do have the Aether Lens up now on the Tinker. You were talking about it during the draft, that you felt like you really needed it this game just to stay away from the Tiny and the Tusk. So it looks like he's inclined to agree. And I like the choice to immediately go Hex. I think this is really good.
Yeah, the Hex is going to be very vital at picking up some of the harder to kill heroes like Puck and Juggernaut. I mean, sure, there is the Snowball save, but Snowball save beats everything, right? So kind of ignore that point and just play your own game.
And they shouldn't be lacking too badly for damage with the level of farm that the Terrorblade is getting, right? If you give him pinned down targets, then he'll be able to do the damage that they need to find those kills. And if you can kill the Jug without him getting a spin or an Omni Slash off, that is huge. So definitely worth trying for. Nando's going to be picking up a Blink Dagger, I guess feeling like it was a bit tough to get in and use the Omni Slash in that previous fight. And looks like we might just have a tier 2 for tier 2 trade on our hands, though. This might not be the end of the Boom push. They know that the Glyph is on cooldown. And they do have the Metamorphosis along with the Manta. They can lay down the March of the Machines to really set up the Terrorblade to just kind of stand there. Carl doing everything that he can to push out this wave, blinking a little bit further up, but now he's just going to get burst struck and looks like he might just get nuked down. Doesn't have a Yule Scepter, so won't be able to wait all the way out, and the Global also getting not completely wasted. He's actually his way up in the trees. Carl's still alive, blinks his way across, and he's out of there. Oh my god, I thought he was dead. But
I don't know if the Global had anything to do with him surviving. In fact, I don't think I've seen actually a good Global so far in this game.
so much for the best silencer game we've seen, huh?
It is a very good silencer game. It's just that, to me, Global Silence is one of the hardest ults to use well in the game. Especially when... I mean, I feel like it shouldn't be hard to use this game, because your puck jumps in, he coils, you Global, and then you take the fight. But at the end of the day, it's also a very kind of team coordination thing.
Yaj, can he find a kill here? Yep, quick Avatos combo onto the Sand King, snowball through to finish. We've also got a blink on the Tusk, so... The pickoff potential from Execration has actually improved a lot just in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, and this one too, Nando now gets the blink. I think now is Execration's time to try to go for a big play and then end up by getting a tier 2 or Roche. I feel like they have all the tools necessary to now start punishing Boom. And I talked about the timing of the Terrorblade. He's still getting some of the other basic stuff, like, well, not basic stuff, but like the mid-game items, like the BKB or finishing that Pike. But once that's done, and then the Scotty's coming online, I do feel like that is going to be the window where Execration's game is going to get really hard.
Tiny looking at Saint over here at the mid lane. They need a little bit more follow-up. Avatos combo not going to catch him. Complete whiff from Yaj. They do have the silence coming in, however, and looks like they should be able to find this kill. He almost gets the split off. Good damage coming in from the Witch Doctor. Yaj trying to limp his way into the trees, but he's dead. And looks like Carl will be able to escape. Ends up being a 1-for-1 trade, but notably, Metamorphosis used. So I am tempted to call that a win for Execration. Just managing to take a fight on the other side of the map, though. It looks like Boom still have an objective that they can grab.
Yeah, they're going to take the Roshan, and is Juggernaut going to come here and challenge this is the question. Global is back up in a couple seconds. Juggernaut can make this not a Roshan attempt.
Smart money.
Yeah, he's actually going to show bottom in a second. He wants to try and go for the tier 3, it looks like, but there is still a glyph available for the Radiant. Roshan's dropping low, but it's not that fast. They are going to get a Sunder over onto Lumic, who now pops the Global to no avail. He just gets brought down between the reflection and the right clicks. Raging Potato continuing to buy space. Carl also hoping to keep them away from looking at this bottom lane. He will find the Tinker and bring him down. That's 70 seconds dead. And Nando gets the tier 3. He's moving his way onto the racks. Dreamacell with no Metamorphosis left, actually taking way too long to finish off the Roshan. And looks like this may have been a bad call from Boom. Carl's still going to just aim to keep them here, and Dreamacell feeling like he's completely committed at this point. The orb's still flying through. Yaj rejoining this fight. They're going to find the immediate kill on the TV. The BKB not doing anything. Tiny will continue the chase. At bottom, looks like they have popped the Primal Split. Nando TPing his way out. But Carl going to be okay. In your dream buying back. They do manage to save the bottom melee barracks, but oh my god, how expensive was that?
Holy shit, what a decision made by Nando. I think a lot of carry players would have panicked and be like, okay, they're doing Roche, I gotta TP back. But the fact that he didn't TP back and the trust in his team to actually stop the Roshan paid off hugely. They not only get the Roche, they now open up the Shrine for even more map control. They get the Aegis on Nando. That was, to me, like 10 out of 10 carry play. The decision to not go back.
Yeah, that was some killer decision making. The other thing is you could even see him sitting there thinking about it. He was sitting right here in the trees, knowing that there was no way that they had vision on him, and just kind of putting pressure on by being off the map, like, and then seeing if they would back out of the Roshan while he was off map, as if he was already there. Oh, they managed to catch the Boom. Oh, and he is gone. Almost has the Radiance.
How quickly this game has spiraled completely out of control. Like 5 minutes ago, this game was relatively even. I mean, Boom was, I think, a little bit behind, but their lineup could afford to be a little bit behind. But now, we even have a Midas finish on the Silencer. And Nando is just so beastly.
Yeah, he's huge. Gonna be going for the Lincolns up next. A little bit more defensive item for him. Potentially helps with the high ground siege. Just helpful not to get sundered, of course, as well.
That makes 2 Lincolns now. Puck also has one.
Oh, Amisash coming through. Terribly gonna pop the BKB. The global will be no save, no sunder, but not enough damage. TB way too high in the armor department to be brought down by that. So he'll be okay. Another. Oh, that was a decent global. I mean, didn't quite have the lockdown because they don't really have anything to deal with the BKB, but at least force the 10-second BKB charge. Good news.
I mean, once the carries start popping BKB, then you can't really fault the silencer anymore. I mean, he's pressed his button, so.
Yeah. Look at Raging Potato. He's like, all right, Tinker maybe comes here in the next little bit, and then I slay him. But looks like in your dream taking the more defensive farm overall, and a big smoke from Boom. This is a little bit unexpected since it is into the Aegis. They're only going to find poor Lumic on the silencer. Gets the spiteful arcane curse off at the very end there. Did they get some wards down from this? That's the big question for me.
Let's see. Witch Doctor has 1 ward. Let's see where he's gonna place it.
Yeah.
I mean, silencer. Midas was on cooldown. Global's on cooldown. Doesn't matter. He's alive or dead.
He's happy to kick back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Brewmaster, right clicking away on the front lines. He's got the 30 damage talent. He's got the Radiance. He's doing decently in that department. Carl is cutting waves up top. They will end up losing their tier 2. Global's going to be back up in 40 seconds time. Carl is now back in position, ready to spam the wave. Nando's actually looking for the engage, perhaps, but in the end, they will just clear things out. Carl jumping in very deep, but he'll be able to just blink himself out, keeping tabs on them. I guess he was maybe hoping to cancel a straight TP or something. Or if they'd seen some heroes top, like if somebody had immediately TP'd top, maybe he would have dropped a coil and they would have chased out. What's Nando got now? Actually, not opting for the
Abyssal Blade.
Yeah, not opting for the Lincolns. Just wants the Abyssal. What's going on with this Ring of Aquila on the ground?
He's sending him.
I guess he's gonna come
Vanguard.
back for it.
Yeah.
All
There you
right.
go. Could have just sold it, but you know, want to keep it around once his Aegis runs out.
Yeah.
It's fine. I like the Abyssal choice. Against all of these cores that have a way to bail themselves out, you really need as much disables as you possibly can. I wonder if he's gonna pick up a MKB because Drunken Haze, as well as the blind from Razor, and the Radiance actually. There's a lot of missing going on if he doesn't pick up a way to reduce that chance.
Yeah, even just the Drunken Brawler is pretty annoying.
Yeah.
So I think worth it. Seems like a good item. I don't know what else you would consider. Like,
Butterfly, I guess.
Yeah, B-Fly. Is it a particularly good nullifier game? Kind of. It's not bad.
Yeah, against Airblade.
Yeah.
But I mean, Abyssal is kind of like.
Kind of works.
I mean, they fulfill a similar role, yeah.
All right, they're gonna go for bottom. They've already got this tier 3. Nando doing that little bit of work earlier. The Primal Split's gonna get popped, and now what? Hello? That's the no blink Brewmaster coming in. They do manage to cyclone up Lumic, but are they willing to chase all the way outside of the base? I do not think so.
Dire's top
All right,
tower
well, the
is
Fairy
under
Panda and the
attack.
Storm Panda both get sent forward. Raging Potato
All right,
just
well,
cutting
that
waves
was-
at mid. Awkward as hell. Now they're going to pop the global. They do burst him down. Dream Coil onto 2. Dreamacell going to try and find a good position in this fight. He pops the BKB. Is he going to be able to turn around and fight is the question. Witch Doctor caught inside of the trees. The epicenter coming through. But Raging Potato dodges a bunch of it with the snowball. They're just kiting around the TV. They will end up losing the puck in the back lines. In your dream, does he have that Hex? He actually does. That might be the big decision maker for this fight. He's jumping forward. He gets the Hex over onto Nando. Can they burst him down? He makes it up onto the high ground, and now the Tiny jumps back in along with Raging Potato. They do get a Sunder off. Dreamacell getting stunned up. Yaj finishes the 1 kill. He's going to try and use this high ground to protect himself. They come back in with Nando. They drop the Abyssal Blade on the Terrorblade's head, and great execution. Dreamacell actually buys back mid-toss and ends up in the middle of the fight.
That's exactly the fuck. That's
What?
Yeah, that's how it works. It's like when you buy back a mid of a jaunt or a mid of a glimpse, you end back where you are.
All right. That was a little bit unexpected. It just kind of looked like Terrorblade's health went right back to full, and everybody ran for the hills. But still, such a nice turnaround from Execration. Like the fight looked really bad after the puck got hexed and blown up, and then they almost lost the jug. And then Raging Potato and Yaj both jumped in right at the same time and kind of were the last word when it came to that fight.
Imagine if they had Brew Split for all of that. If the Brew ultimate wasn't wasted early on, I think they would have won that fight pretty, a big landslide, and they didn't have to use that buyback. But good team fight from Execration, kind of showing how it should be done on paper. We finally saw the global and the Puck using their spells together, and the effect is pretty much instantaneous, right? They get the 1 kill, they move on for Witch Doctor. The BKB on Terrorblade gets just wasted because you just have to run away from the coil and the global. And I think Puck should be working on... It looks like he's going to be finishing Dagon. Another suggestion I would have had is actually going to go for Ags, just to pressure people within the coil, so Nando could just finish them off. But this one's fine too.
Yeah, I mean, the TB just keeps running off the Dream Coil, right? Pops the BKB, runs back into a position where he's comfortable to sort of enter siege mode and then just go. I could have seen it. Maybe he feels like they're... I don't think their damage is going to fall off necessarily, but it is also helpful to maybe just solo burst the Tinker or find and kill the Brewmaster with the rest of your team. Boom on the back foot, decidedly. How is that Terrorblade farm going? He feels like he's stalled a little bit since they haven't really been able to get out on the map as much as they were previously. We talked about the pickoff threat really escalating a lot for Execration, right, with the multiple Blink Daggers and the Shadowblade coming online, and it seems to have hurt the Terrorblade the most.
I've never seen a Terrorblade finishing a Hurricane Pike like 35 minutes in. Is it still worth it at this point?
I don't think so.
Because it feels like eventually you're going to override that item, and Pike is generally one of the early ones to go, but...
It doesn't look like he's even aiming to finish it, right? He's already got 1 ultimate orb. So I think he might just be going Scotty.
He's got it in his quick buy, so
yeah.
I don't know. Oh, you're saying he's got the ultimate orb. Yeah, I guess you're right.
We'll see. Brewmaster's
so
going
what about the the Aeon disc, the no blink Aeon disc build? I don't know about that, dude.
The walk in, hopefully soak some spells, then have the window to use your split, I suppose. I've bought this item on Brew before, but I've never bought it without blink.
Maybe you're doing it wrong. Maybe you're supposed to get it faster by not buying the blink.
He's the pro player here. Double damage on Nando, making quick work of the Roshan, and that's going to be Aegis and Cheese picked up. Are they going to be able to steal it? Nando does have the edge. They're going to pop the global just to disengage. Healing Ward's down. Saint trying to make his approach around the side here. They are going to get the clap down. He pops the Primal Split. Nando willing to hard commit to this fight. He does actually manage to find one inside of the pit. That's the Abyssal Blade used. He's cleaving through the Pandas. It looks like he will just get right-click down. Also being hexed up. Needs his team to come in and assist. Call ready to now go in for the jump. Can they burst down the Terrorblade before he gets off the Sunder? Yes, they will be able to. Yaj gets hexed, but it's only for a moment's time as Raging Potato is now chasing after In Your Dream off to the other side, and they should have the chain disabled to finish him. He's lasering, doing his very best to break the avalanche. He gets finished off. Meanwhile, back at the pit, Juggernaut slices through the Brewmaster, and that is a 5-man wipe. Boom getting cleaned up. They do claim the Aegis in the end. In Your Dream knows that he has to make some desperate plays. He's going to bring down Lumic. Who else can he find? He blinks the avalanche. In Your Dream! Alright, there's the cheese from Nando. Can they find him in the trees? Can they do it? In Your Dream blinks again. He's on top of the tiny. Yeah, just got him. He gets the hex. Can he rearm again? In Your Dream. There's the blink away.
Holy shit. In Your Dreams is carrying this team fight right now. I mean, why are they chasing him? Why are they going down mid? Just go, go, go. Who cares about the Tinker? But I think they chased it long enough and the waves pushed. Base is defended. They just lost a 5v nothing and they don't lose anything off of that. Because In Your Dreams, holy shit. Also, pretty funny fight earlier. I don't think you were catching it because you were casting the other half of the fight.
Yeah.
Omni Slash went off on the Brewmaster. Brewmaster had the Aeon Disc.
And it just soaked the whole thing.
And then the Aeon Disc ended and he just died.
Yeah, I was watching them try and get the Tinker the first time. Oh, In Your Dream, he spotted somebody again. It's the Puck. He's up on the hill. There's the X. There's the damage. One more cycle. Easy. In Your Dream.
That's 100% Kaya Aether Lens. I'm calling it, dude. Those items are so impactful in those kind of engagements.
Yeah, he stretched his mana pool to like the absolute limit in that that last little chase. Also, is it just me or does Spirit Vessel seem to cancel blink really slowly? Like, I don't think he even rearm blinked. He just ran up the hill and then blinked. I don't know. It happens.
Don't
with
you have
Urn
like
as well,
a third of a second or something like that?
yeah,
to
yeah. It doesn't
get off
take
your
that
blink?
fast.
Yeah. There's a Glimmer Cape on Tinker. How many buttons can this man press? Let's see.
And your dream is... He's really just gone Super Saiyan here. They want to find him in the back lines if they can. They are going to settle for the Sand King at the beginning. Global Silence going to get popped. Who can they find? They still don't have the puck, so they don't have that all-important lockdown from the Dream Curl. They will find the 1 kill, but Dreamcel's pressing forward. They've actually managed to find the Tinker. Nando, can he finish him off? Yes, he can. Brewmaster saved by the Aeon Dust, but is that going to matter? They just want to disengage now. There's no Tinker. Dreamcell gets the Sunder off, but he keeps getting punched up into the air. He's doing his best, but the Healing Ward helping to keep Nando and Raging Potato alive. He's still fine. They need that lockdown. They need that damage. Dreamcell just can't find the targets. Yad runs in. He blinks back out. They do end up losing the Silencer on the other side, finishing him off with the Witch Doctor, but... Ooh, Execration. They found the important target there. Hell of a game from Nando. Gotta give him some credit.
It doesn't even feel like Execration's up 30k gold, but that's their lead. And they're still kind of having somewhat trouble. Now they're pushing bottom though. Again, the Rex has been open since that
Carl,
really great play by Nando.
Why do you hate Kezcute so much, dude? Why do you hate it?
I mean, it's the one guy he could kill by himself, so we gotta go for those skills.
That's true. Alright, Brewmaster's back on the scene. Still 50 seconds to go on the ultimate. Yaj gonna be looking for a toss back, I would think. They've got the Abyssal Blade. No, alright, doesn't get the toss back. Had to be a little bit careful with the blink range because of the Radiance, which is certainly annoying. Nando's still just going to keep on chopping wood on this mid-tier 3. Still 50 seconds to go on the Tinker. They do have a Glyph. They might be able to hold on to the very last lane of Rax, but it's going to be tough. Glyph now coming out. Saint going to try and just put the edge of the Radiance on them to try and slow down this push. They're going to jump in. Now the Epicenter comes through. The Snowball not going to be able to save them, but they're not really taking that much damage either. Nando, I think, still has the Abyssal Blade ready to go. Has he used it yet? Not quite. Dreamcell trying to kite for dear life. He does get the Sunder off, but he's in the middle of everybody. They're going to Walrus kick him outside of the base. All right. Saint saved by the Aeon Disc for a few seconds. That's going to be enough of an opportunity for him to get the Primal Split off. They finally chase outside. They get the TB. He buys back now. Carl in the midst of everything. Kezcute waiting for him with this Death Ward, getting channeled up. Nando taking some damage from it. He still hasn't even used the Omni Slash. This fight is going crazy. They've kicked the Witch Doctor out as well. All right. This is the kill zone, apparently. You just kick him here and then Puck Dagons them.
Oh, the funniest. I mean, they just made it twice as hard for themselves, but it doesn't matter because they're just so stylish and cool. I guess that's a combo, right? You coil and you kick them out of coil.
Oh no, there's a Lincolns. He has to pop the Lincolns to solo kill. Also, he has to be wary of the Jug. All right. He's just gonna. He's not feeling himself that much. He's right next to the shrine as well. I think if the shrine wasn't there, maybe he tries. But the other problem is if he whiffs once, right? If Puck manages to fog him or something like that, he just dies. So, gonna play it safe.
I'll take that as tribute.
But
well, now Execration is up by 40k gold. When's the last time you seen a 40k gold lead?
it's been a while actually. It's been a very long time. The Jug is just so big compared to the Terrorblade, right? Like, you look at his inventory and then he's got another 5k on top of that. I said that he had to be like the hard one, carry the game. I did not envision this. Like, he's 10-1-7 as well. Oh, all right, solo kill on the. Oh, he died TPing back into the fountain, huh?
The thing is that he was getting a ton of these kills before he even got his Battle Fury. So he was participating just with face boots, and he's playing well not because he's got all the items and he's just like out DPSing everyone. He's playing well because he's making the right decisions and being at the better places. So that's, to me, more impressive than, you know, him being this farm and doing this much damage.
Yeah, he's finding the best targets for sure. Puck is also inflating the net worth lead a little bit with the 420 GPM talent at this point.
All right, Nando now Caster Curse just pops a
yeah,
BKB.
yeah, just pops BKB. I think he may have been
cool.
moving his slots on his items. but anyway. So I think he wanted to pop the Manta because he just wanted to chip, but he'd swapped the Manta in the BKB spots. So a little bit awkward. Trying to chip against the Tinker is certainly not easy. They do have vision up on the high ground. If they see a really good target to toss back, they could go for it. Though the Brewmaster with the Aeon Disc is tough. Yeah, or kick. That's true.
Yeah, they could now coil and kick and stun. So that's the combo, I guess.
Synergy. There's an Arcane Rune down bottom. Who's that going to go to? I guess we'll have to see. Alright, just Nando going to grab it.
That's nice.
Nando has BOT too, so the rest of the team could just start the fight. Oh, do you see that Carl?
Yeah, he popped the disc.
Breaking the...
That was sick.
Now your 4K item is useless. Well, it's not useless. I guess it gives you...
Status resistance. The 25% status resistance. Alright, they get the D-ward. Carl kind of giving away the ward a little bit with that blink fort. Because he blinked right on top of the brew as well. It wasn't like he blinked in for vision and then cast F on him. Alright, Nando spin. He's also got the BKB. There's no glyph. They've actually managed to find the Sand King on the other side of this fight. Yad should be able to finish him off. No, there's actually a Glimmer Cape coming through. He will be brought down. Carl also finding a kill onto the Witch Doctor. He knows who he wants. The Hex is going to come in. Can they finish him? The Rockets are there. Terrorblade force-staffing himself forward. Does get off the reflection, but Jug just going to spin and reset. They could wait out the Metamorphosis if they really wanted to. There's going to be a kick back. Does he have the Sunder? He does actually have it available, but they kick him towards the Jug. Drop the Abyssal Blade on his head. Omni Slash him down. There's only 2 heroes alive in your dream versus the world at this point since the Primal Split has ended. Kick him out of the base. Brewmaster's getting sent everywhere. Can they get a bash? They don't even need it. They've got the punch. He's going to buy back. In your dream, trying to sneak forward. What can he do? There's the Hex. Some damage. Carl trying to chase him. Good blink back. Nando's into the spin now, so a few seconds of protection from the Tinker. The Snowball's chasing after him, and it's super fast. Won't quite catch him, though. He does need to take a little stop off at the fountain. Couple seconds till the Sand King's back up. Maybe that's the catch that they need to clean up this fight. Brewmaster getting bursted. Still alive. 2 seconds to the disc. Nando's still just focusing the objective. The glyph is also available. They won't be able to get to their Terrorblade, but they do have their supports back up, and In Your Dream doing his best to lay down the march, though it's not really doing much in the face of the healing ward, and unfortunately the disc randomly gets popped by the Illusory Orb. Witch Doctor running forward. He's been silenced. Carl is looking for In Your Dream in the trees, but he's instead just playing in the middle of the base. They do get the Hex up over onto Nando. Can they get him a little bit out of here? Yes, they can. Glimmer Cape from the Silencer doing some work. They finally caught In Your Dream over in the trees. He's going to Hex up onto Raging Potato. He manages to get the blink into the fountain once again. In Your Dream is just completely impossible to catch, but Nando goes back, focuses on the objective, and does clean up the Mega Creeps. It's not too many kills, but Execration got what they came for.
Man, I feel like this team is like Nando and 4 clowns. Everyone's trying to style on each other. Nando's just taking the objective.
Yeah, everyone's like, man. Oh, I'm gonna toss the Tinker, I'm gonna kick him, we're gonna kick this guy into the Dream Coil, and Nando's just like, please, guys, just hit the buildings.
Although to be fair, the kicks out of the base makes it much easier for you to kill, like just focus fire and Omni Slash and get the kill. And also that makes the target to be unable to be helped by Boom ID. So even though it looks like super silly, I would say half of it is like a good kick. The other half is just for funsies.
It's the Raging Potato 50-50, but in like one ability, right? It's both a Clown Town play and it's a super hype play at the exact same time. Which is something that maybe only
a refresher orb. Damn, he's farming. Oh, dude, just give him the refresher shard. Triple global. Let's go. Nobody be talking.
It looks like the shard's on the Jug, but how's Nando gonna use it? I guess you like blink Omni, then while you're in the Omni, you swap your blink for items. The refresher.
Oh, that's sick, dude. That's hella sick. Let's see if he's gonna do it.
You like blink Abyssal, Omni Slash, swap items, refresh. You could even like, oh, it's a sick idea. I don't know if we'll see it. They might just end up losing their tier 4s.
He's gonna Omni and then blink into the next target and then swap. Let's hype it
Oh,
up.
the kickback onto the Brewmaster. Does he have his Aeon Disc? No, it's coming off cooldown right now. Will it save him? No, he gets Dagon down. Dead for 100. Nando, can we see some Omni Slash plays? Nope, he's playing the objective. No, he's actually going in. He pops the
there we
BKB. There's Omni number 1. Can he get number 2? Yes, he can. Omni number 2 ready to
he
go.
got
Doesn't have
hexed.
enough mana. Got hexed. They do manage to kill out the Tinker. He buys back. Nando's actually potentially dead here. How is he alive? Where is he? He's just standing there. All right, Aegis gonna get popped. Yaj dying to the death ward. He's down. Nando maybe regretting clowning around with his team. The Mega Creeps are, however, taking up the mantle, and they're going to be the ones who start to bring down the Ancient. Terrorblade going to walk in here, wants to try and right-click Nando down, but he's just not doing nearly enough damage. The Sand King's now dead. They've lost the Tinker. It's only 3 alive. The buyback's not doing anything in the face of all this damage, and looks like Execration will be taking this series and eliminating Boom ID from the Bucharest Major SEA qualifiers.
Oh, that was a fun game.
That was great.
The game ends with a 56k lead. I don't think I've ever seen a 56k lead.
What is the biggest? I don't know what the biggest all-time lead is off the top of my head, but we've got to be kind of close.
This is probably
right?
a record, right? And
Yeah.
again, the crazy thing is the game felt relatively competitive. Even like it was Boom pushing into Execration with a 30k deficit. Like that's what kind of game this was. Yeah, but really fun stuff.
Yeah. I have to give some mad props to In Your Dream, even with the even with the fact that they lost that game, he really did so much work. Like,
I know you don't choose MVP on the losing side, but if you do, that would have been definitely In Your Dream. Yeah.
It was like In Your Dream versus Nando, and then Nando happened to find him the one time with the Blink Abyssal Omni Slash, and it was like, that was where things really started to fall apart. Also, I think Yaj played pretty well on the Tiny, did pretty well in lane, had some good movements around the maps. There were a couple of team fights, like you were saying, where it felt like their coordination was really off, but they somehow managed, after a certain point, to kind of put it all back together and have the Tusk and the Tiny going in at the right times and using the global a little bit better with the Dream Coil. And to me, that was the biggest thing, other than Nando's play for Execration this game.
So now Execration advances on. I don't think we're casting this tournament tomorrow. Is that correct?
There is the schedule
Unless
as
the
it
schedule
stands
change.
right now. Yeah, as the schedule stands right now.
Oh my goodness.
There is no game tomorrow. There are 3 series on the 14th, on Sunday. And yeah, so Execration move forward, and they're going to be playing against Clutch. And the other match is going to be Fnatic versus the winner of TNC versus Geek Fam. So we're getting towards the pointy end. The first match on the Sunday is at 11 SGT, so that is 1 o'clock Australia time. Actually, wait.
Yep, no, that's correct. That's correct. Again, according to the schedule that currently is, it's gonna be TNCs versus Geek Fam, and then following that, the winner. Actually, we have like a 6-hour break after that.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll tell you more on Sunday. Is it Sunday?
Yeah. 14th.
Yeah, it is.
Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. A slight correction. It's 1 o'clock if you're in Queensland. If you're anywhere else on the East Coast, it's 2 o'clock because we don't have
Queensland.
Yeah.
Where the hell's Queensland?
That's my state. That's the state that I live in.
All right.
Yeah. That and no, never mind. Bad joke. Anyway. I was gonna say like, oh, that and depression, but that's a pretty stupid joke. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the coverage. There's still, I'm sure, tons of qualifier stuff going on. Yeah, there's ESL 1 happening right now, so if you want to go watch Fnatic play, you should go and tune into that. I think there's probably even more PGL, Bucharest Major, Europe qualifiers tonight. That's probably in a couple of hours, so make sure you check that out. But from me and Lumi, unless he has anything else to say, it's going to be a farewell until Sunday.
Farewell.
All right. Catch you guys.